Hello Capricorn, and welcome to your February 2025 forecast. I'm Nicholas Ashbaugh. As always, this reading is going to help you navigate opportunities, challenges, and everything in the middle. It's good to see you. As you can see, I'm still traveling. This is not my place. I'm just staying with a relative, so it will probably change in about a day. So thank you for your patience as I'm having to kind of catch up with the posting schedule, and I'm also traveling. I'll be flying out on Thursday. So again, I do appreciate the patience. Okay, with that being said, let's get into this reading. This morning as I was meditating on your sign, what I saw was a beautiful image of a lotus blossom, just brilliant, sort of like fuchsia color. And I would of course connect the lotus blossom with the crown chakra. And this is an opportunity for many of you to go a little bit deeper into perhaps intellectual studies, like so school and training, intuitive development. There may also be something where if you were previously creatively blocked, all of a sudden an idea or just like this moment of clarity comes through. Sometimes when we're searching for the answer, it's right in front of us, but you can literally just look out the window and it's like, oh, that's what I've been looking for. So I feel like there's that kind of parting of the mental clouds, and perhaps something even just in front of you that you forgot about, you look at it and you're like, oh wait, I need to call this person, I need to do this, or that's the direction in which I need to be headed. So that's a very good thing. The other thing that I love whenever we look at anything like a lotus blossom is it has to push through the mud to get to the surface of the water and blossom. And so for many of you, this is an indication from Spirit that your hard work, your perseverance, and yes, at times your struggles have not gone unnoticed. This month should mark a turning point, and things should start to get easier. Keep pushing, don't give up. Nine of Wands energy, I would also kind of connect with the lotus, which is, it's like the Energizer Bunny. It never stops going. So keep pushing until you accomplish whatever it is that you're trying to do. And I just get the feeling that this month it'll be a little bit easier, a little bit clearer. And again, a lot of intellectual energy. It's like the whole crown chakra and brain is lighting up here. So let's take a look at the cards and see how this factors into the month ahead. Take a moment, close your eyes. Imagine you're sitting at the beach and you can create a circle in the sand around your body, connecting with the sun, which is directly overhead. In this moment of protection and connection, let's call in angels, spirit guides, and ascended masters. A nice synchronicity there because we have the High Priestess coming through, showing again that there is a possibility for great expansion this month. Okay, let's get started with your catalyst energy first and foremost. We have the crab coming through. It's in the reverse state. Looks like a hermit crab in particular, and it's about growth, trust, and security. So coming out of the hermit phase a little bit, allowing yourself to be seen and to be heard. I think this is why I was getting that crown awakening for many of you, which is just really getting cemented, grounded, and assured of who you are, what you want, where you want to go next. Don't be afraid of growth. Growth also involves change, and change we can kind of see with like the death card. In this case, we have judgment too, which is rising up from a challenge or a second chance or realizing that one end is another beginning. So don't be afraid of change and growth. They're necessary for life. Actually, with hermit crabs, they do a little sort of organized procedure where if they're outgrowing their shells, they'll all line up and they try to kind of fit into a bigger one, and they kind of trade up. It's almost like a swap meet where they all get to kind of help one another out. So if you're having some difficulty in stepping into that growth opportunity, maybe work with others just like they help. The other thing here is working on trust and security. So I'm looking at security more in a holistic view where it might be just self-esteem, confidence, feeling more secure in yourself, trusting your instincts. This is really powerful for you because your outcome card, I mean, this is the big so what of the reading, but your outcome card is saying, trust yourself. High Priestess is one of the most tuned in and astute and knowledgeable cards that you can get, but sometimes people talk you out of that insight, and we don't want that to happen this month. I love that she has a little shell around her throat too, kind of connecting us with this particular shell as well. So speak your truth. Speak what you see, speak what you're feeling, allow it to be kind of like you could speak it into existence even. As I quickly look at all of the cards here, overall I'm quite happy with what I see because at the center we have an expansion card. We have an understanding, developmental, or kind of like next level card here with Judgment, and then the High Priestess. And again, it's trusting your own judgment. That's a common theme this month, but by and large, pretty good and pretty manageable. Let's just take it card by card and I'll break it down for you. All right, so we're going to start off with your center card, Ten of Pentacles. Yes, it's reversed, but if we look at it in the upright position, we can see that this is a reward for a decent amount of hard work that you've been putting into this moment in time. All the rings of the tree represent days, weeks, months, and years of preparation. And basically at the nexus of all of that, we have friends, family, we have accomplishment, we have wisdom. Trusting yourself, trusting the work that you've done. Once more, I want to bring that through. Now, a reversed Ten of Pentacles can be peer pressure and family pressure. People may, even teachers by the way, they may think that they know what's best for you. They may think that by nudging you in a direction that it's going to serve you. But you are the best person to decide what fits. Just like if you're trying clothes on, someone may say that looks great, but you're like, no, it's itchy or it's too tight or whatever. So trust, as you kind of step into something, does it fit my energy? Does it fit my vision? You want to stay as aligned to those sorts of things as possible. There may also just be a lot of pressure you're putting on yourself to succeed. And this card inevitably is showing that you're very close to the finish line. So don't allow your own self, kind of pressure get in the way here. And perfectionist tendencies as well. There may also be a rush from someone else to commit or sign on the dotted line. Don't do it until you're ready. That would be there's nothing to be worried about, but again, it's more about the fit. I want you to feel like this feels right. Ultimately, with Ten of Pentacles at the center, we're looking at the possibility this month for expansion in resources, relationships that could go to the next level, contracts that could be signed. But you have to feel comfortable with it before any of these things go to the next level. It's really not that shocking then that we have the Nine of Swords on top of this, because all of the things that I just talked about are basically a component of this. This ultimately is success, achievement, and going next level, but this is what could hold you back from it. So Nine of Swords, paying too much attention to all of these other people's opinions. As you get older, you realize that it's virtually impossible, not to mention unhealthy, to try to please everybody. It's important to stand your ground and say no from time to time. Doing the right thing is better than being popular. And so stand up for yourself. Don't worry about approval from everyone. And this card, of all the swords ones, is probably the most manageable because it's mostly just amplified fear. Very rarely is the Nine of Swords what it appears to be. So taking time to meditate, to rest, and to find healthy outlets for stress management. It could be speaking with a counselor or therapist, a friend. There could be creative endeavors in your life that allow you to just sort of let go of some of the pent-up stress and fear in particular. Sleep quality and quantity, always a message here with the Nine of Swords. It's being affected by the other habits in your life. So meditation, eating well, sleeping well, exercising, these things can actually help with that. And then just saying no. Those are the main things that come to mind as we're talking here. In the deep past, I love that we got the Lovers. This represents a couple of things. First of all, just its general appearance in the deep past means that you're working on themes of acceptance this month. You've done a lot of the groundwork, but I feel like just as we were saying there might be a little bit of a desire to appease, to please, to meet up to others' expectations, perhaps because of a yet to be identified Five of Pentacles moment where someone just said, you're not good enough. I'm here to say you are good enough, and it's a matter of loving and believing and accepting yourself. In the upright position, that unconditional love would attract a similar energy, whether it's an opportunity or a relationship or something else. But first, you have to really embody that feeling of love and wholeness and acceptance. And know that if people in your life tend to put conditions on this, if you could only be more like this person, I would love you more, or why can't you do this? If there's constant sort of like caveats and strings and conditions put on the love, one thing that you might be realizing this month is, I don't need that, right? And this is a moment where you're going to trust in that feeling, you're going to grow, you're going to focus on the security in yourself, really knowing that this is enough. And when it is enough, then you're going to find someone else who sees that, okay? So just a little bit of themes, a little bit of a theme here of self-acceptance, cutting any ties with anyone that might be codependent or has conditions that they put on their love and acceptance. Okay, recent past. One of the lessons that you have learned, still are learning, and will be putting into practice this month is to raise your hand and ask when you need something, or to articulate what your desires and plans and goals are. In the upright position, Queen of Pentacles is fantastic at creating, nurturing, growing. That's why everything around her, even her dress and her hair, it's all trees and growth and energy like that. We would normally see like a little bunny rabbit too. So not just abundance, but like there's also this ability for things to happen quickly. Now, sometimes that's exhausting. If you're constantly helping, nurturing, and sort of like fostering this growth around you, you sometimes have to do it for yourself. So this month, if you need something, absolutely, this is the time for personal development. Maybe you're deciding to focus more on health or exercise, or you want to take a class, or you want to move around some of your savings and do something that will be enriching. Because, you know, being rich is not just about money. It's experiences, it's a feeling, it's the connections and the relationships and the impact that you make on the planet. So this is a different level of wealth that we're looking at here. We're not even in the expanded forecast, but it's coming through. It's this fulfillment. And it doesn't always cost money, but it might cost time. So what you're looking at is reorganizing your schedule and resources so that there's a little bit more satisfaction, a little bit more fulfillment, and enrichment for yourself. And it's okay to do all of that because it's going to make you more able and successful at helping others because there's just more to give. You're filling up the tank a little bit this month, okay? One thing that you want to avoid, both with King and Queen of Pentacles in reverse, is overdoing anything. Basically, she's reminding us that everything is good in moderation. But if we overwork, if we overeat, if we overexercise, if we worry too much, those sorts of things are then going to have counterproductive effect. That's a great segue to the next card, which is Judgment, and it's saying exercise your common sense. Beyond common sense, though, Judgment is a very profound card. The traditional illustration shows souls rising up from the dead. This is a counterpart to that transformation card that we call death. So when one door closes, another opens, and often we are so much more able and ready to kind of embrace the opportunity that the sky is the limit. Literally, the souls rise up into the sky. So this is a card of second chances. If something in the past felt blocked to you, either mentally, environmentally, a resource, etc., it feels like that's starting to get chipped away. If you had a door closed on you, a job, a relationship, or something of that nature, something better is waiting, and the universe just was kind of helping and saying, it's time now. So this is a card that basically invites reinvention. It invites a bold approach, and it reminds you that you're never too old, you're never too young to make something happen. You're at exactly the right place at exactly the right time. But do you believe? Are you believing in yourself? Because that is so important to bring these two cards to their most powerful. Finally, for some of you, this is just a wake-up call. Look at Gabriel blowing the horn here. This is basically a chance for you to answer your calling, to align to the soul path, and to make the necessary changes in this moment at this time. Ultimately, this is a breakthrough. One of the biggest challenges this month is patience. We have the Temperance card reversed, and this represents just wanting to be at the finish line already. And it's saying, you know what, you're exactly where you need to be right now. Typically, this is an angelic card as well, and it's a reminder that to tune in, you really need to slow down and make some space in your schedule for planning, reflection, and just sort of opening yourself up to receive. The other thing that's coming through here is to just be the channel, to receive. Because in this moment in time, and in fact, it actually ties into the next card here, Queen of Cups. So allowing yourself to trust what's coming through Spirit, receive it, and then just kind of like allow it to then flow into your life. Too often we start to kind of like over-intellectualize, overthink it, and you're already very connected to Spirit and Source with both the Temperance Angel and High Priestess coming through. Let's get into how you're showing up this month. We have Queen of Cups energy, which is very favorable for any sort of relationship that you might be wanting to put your time and energy into, whether it's existing or brand new. It's also a very persuasive energy when we're looking at business, and it's very creative. And coupled with High Priestess energy, for those of you that are either an artist or want to put something out there creative this month, you have a great starting point with this. I also love the divine partnership that she kind of has there with the seahorse. So a seahorse, male seahorse, can carry the eggs from the female and kind of takes them to term. So what's nice is it's kind of a flip on the usual sort of power dynamics here. So many of you are starting to find relationships and people and environments where you can be more than one thing. It's not like you have to fit in a box. You can be both sensitive and assertive, right? So very cool stuff. And yes, if you're looking for love, the Queen of Cups is showing me that you did the work. The only thing that we saw from the deep past is a reminder here to love yourself and accept yourself. That's going to help reiterate what I can see and hopefully what other people can see as well. In the environment, we have a necessary pause and one that's out of your control. So Hanged Man is either a pause, delay, or some sort of a temporary roadblock. This is, however, not something that you need to worry about. When it's in the environment, it could simply be the universe slowing you down long enough so that you are at the right place at the right time to make a connection. So it's kind of like, let's imagine you're stepping into an office and someone at the front just keeps talking to you, and then all of a sudden when you're done, you start heading towards your desk and you run into the person that you were going to talk to anyway, or you find someone who says, oh my gosh, I have a great opportunity for you. So it's synchronistically pausing you so that you can then align to that perfect connection. So don't freak out when something may be a little bit delayed. It's not permanent and it may be purposeful. And that's what I'm getting with that. The other thing, we're talking about perspective again with the Hanged Man. So the mythology of this is basically Odin hung upside down from the tree, from his foot, in order to gain the secret of the runes, or the secrets of the runes. And basically, patience was a part of this, and seeing something from a new perspective. So you're probably going to learn something from whatever delays come through. You may be able to see another way to get around the situation when you pause and go introspective, okay? Now let's take a look at the opportunity this month. In Hope, Spheres, and Opportunities, we have the Queen of Swords, and she's reversed. Ultimately, this is a very good card. It shows that you can get straight to the point and get someone to answer when necessary. So speak up, speak out, but not necessarily speak often. What I want you to check in on is to make sure that people are ready. So before engaging in an important conversation, whether it's with a friend or with a coworker, you want to start off with checking in. How are you doing today? What's going on? How did whatever happened yesterday, how did that turn out? Then after you've done that, ask if it's a good time. Just say, hey, I really would love to talk about X, Y, or Z. Do you have time today? And if not, how about tomorrow? You're not going to let them get off the hook because this is an assertive card, but you are going to check to make sure they're okay. You are going to give them enough notice to prepare. And you're also going to stick to brevity because the other stuff may sound like small talk, but it's not. It's saying, how are you? And then, are you ready? And you're going to have to use a little bit of pleasantries to get those questions out there. Then you can get to your question. And so that's basically what I see with this. She's also taking a moment to look at the world from another person's angle or point of view. So what you could say is, what do you think about this? She could be researching. So one of the opportunities this month is to talk to people and do more listening than speaking. When you do speak, get very direct questions in there, and then again, give them plenty of space. And this is good if you're trying to figure something out. Say, I'm kind of at a brick wall, because we see that here. I'm stuck. Do you have any insights? What would you do? What do you think? So it could be a friend, it could be an advisor, it could be a counselor, it could be someone that you're paying that's an expert. But I like what they're going to give back, because Queen of Swords energy is going to be very direct if you're working with someone like that. And then we already talked about this at the beginning, so we're at full circle here. High Priestess in the upright position is all about spiritual enlightenment. It's about being tuned in. I saw the lotus blossom, which in ancient Egyptian mythology is representative of third eye and the crown chakra. So in this moment in time, I want you to just trust yourself. You've got this, but there's some overthinking, overanalyzing, or self-doubt that's getting in the way. And when we go back to the initial catalyst, it said, trust yourself. You're growing, you've got more knowledge than you think. You just have to focus on that feeling of being secure and being confident in yourself. Let's go ahead now and expand this a little deeper. We're going to go into health, wealth, love, and destiny. We'll begin first with the energy of health, which is your mind, body, and spirit. You received the Daughter of Pentacles. This represents positive movement within the area of health. There's a few things I want to talk about on this card, namely the rainbow and the deer. The rainbow is showing that there may have been some challenges in the weeks, months, or even years preceding this month, but it seems like things are starting to take a turn for the better. The deer itself represents sometimes a fight or flight mentality, sometimes getting very easily scared or kind of hastily moving towards something. However, the overall grounding energy of Pentacles is saying when that happens, plant your feet on the ground, really get a feel for what's going on, use facts, use your intuition, and then and only then move forward. So there is this wonderful combination of energies coming forth. Yes, it's okay to be tuned in, but you don't want to be skittish. Pain can be a teacher, but it doesn't have to persist. And when you are grounded and when you feel that sense of safety, which we saw here in this card coming through, growth will also come through. Okay, let's see what else is coming through in this area of the spread. There may be, this almost strikes me as boredom. If the Hanged Man is in the environment, it could mean that, wherever you're spending the most time at work or an activity, it may kind of hold you back from doing other things, or there could be a glass ceiling. I know we're not looking at wealth, but this can also lead to some of the stress or anxiety that does present itself here. This month in particular, it's important to have good limits and boundaries around friends, family, and coworkers. Again, avoid excess. Too much of anything isn't ideal, so less is more. Meditation and really sort of just taking things one step at a time, not rushing in, not rushing out. Throat chakra awakening for some of you. If you don't sort of find a way to cultivate the voice, sometimes what happens is you can get laryngitis or a cold or something. So if you're feeling heightened sensitivity around the throat chakra, also practice sort of speaking up more often. Overall, though, it's pretty good. Heightened sensitivity, heightened intuition coming through twice here as well. So I do feel like this month, if you are feeling that sense of it's a little bit more intense, that's because you're just opening up, you're more awake, you're more aware. If there was one thing to pick from this whole spread to avoid, I think it's allowing fear to take too much of a center stage. Like I said, usually the Nine of Swords is not as profound or as heavy as it feels at that moment in time. So always sleep on a major decision, always get an outside perspective. Remember that tomorrow's a new day, a clean slate, and it offers up the opportunity for things to improve as well. Get a second opinion if you don't agree with or understand the doctor that you're working with. And that's everything for this. All right, let's move on to the next component, which is wealth. Your primary card that came through was Justice Reverse. So if there's something that isn't fair, the scales are imbalanced, you're going to speak up. If there's something that isn't following protocol or isn't lawful or legal, you may also want to seek counsel and right that wrong. And that's basically justice in reverse. It also reminds you of the power and importance of simply saying one word, which is no. So if something isn't to your liking, isn't correct, and you know that you can do better, use that word to liberate yourself and connect to something far better than what you currently have. All right, let's dig a little deeper into 5 subcategories in this area. We're going to start off with those of you that are currently working, followed by those who own their own companies, followed by job seekers. Then we're going to take a look at students, and finally, retirees. As we take a look at the first category, those who have a job, we have the shadow side coming through, a different interpretation of the devil card. Now, what's interesting is justice reversed, fighting for what's right, came through, and that's a perfect way to counter this. Leading by example, speaking and acting with integrity. That's how you basically transmute the devil card. This is also a very conditional sort of energy. So someone will say exactly what I was giving examples of earlier with lovers reversed, which is, if you could only do this, then I'll make this happen. That happens a lot in a job because they do put conditions on your employment. But if they're not following through on their ends of the bargain, then that is something to really focus on. Get things in writing. The justice card is about legal matters, writing, making sure that everything you have like a paper trail behind it as well. I just want to highlight a few things to help you be as successful and as happy as possible this month. Your stress management is everything. There's only so much you can fix in a job. If it's above your pay level and if you're not getting the support you need, take a step back. Delegate that to someone that should be dealing with it. Boundaries are so important. Saying no is really important if something doesn't feel right or if it just is not part of your job description. There may be some delays. Use the delays to your advantage. Sometimes you have extra time to perfect something. This is also saying that before you press send or deliver something, get an external set of eyes and ears on it. Overall, counsel, whether it's legal or just, good advice, is so important this month. Some of you have already made a decision on what you need to do. You just might need that extra bit of support in order to believe yourself. So we see you somewhere between making the decision and following through on it this month. I think that for many of you, you can create a better outcome if you want to. We do see the worth energy here, the Queen of Pentacles, but I'm not seeing as much at play here. So you'll have to kind of state your case, and you could manifest some sort of a breakthrough. But with this energy present, don't take anything on a promise and a handshake. Make sure that there's something in writing, and I think that's the key thing. On the bright side, what people are noticing about you this month is your creative ideas, your intuition, your just good gut instinct, your ability to make things work when no one else can, and basically rise up from any challenge. These are really good attributes. And also, kindness, empathy, and one more time, creativity. So there's a lot in your favor. There's some environmental things to be aware of. Definitely avoid something if your gut says this isn't right. It's worth listening to. All right, moving on to those of you that are entrepreneurs and or own your own companies. It's time to change things up. Death is transformation. Death is change. Death represents a movement that's happening towards something bigger. So you could be deciding to reorganize, restructure, or maybe even just completely change something. And that's okay. As you start to evolve, it could even just be rebranding, but there's something that needs to shift this year so that growth is still a part of this. And again, we saw that at the very beginning. Trust in your instincts to find that growth and make sure you're protecting what matters most. This is a great month to make an announcement. This is a great time to creatively explore new options, to be bolder with overall communications, even in social media, and to lean into this good energy that we have in the deep past. These are happy customers. So how can you bubble up their reviews, their support, maybe getting involved with a Patreon or street team or something where these people can come through and be your ambassadors. There's a lot of good stuff, but it feels like there needs to be some changes in the way that you're operating and managing things in order to allow for that growth to happen. Possibly even a change in your title or some other people. I definitely get more of a restructuring energy here because of both death and judgment. Let's move on now to job seekers. You have the Four of Pentacles. This card often represents not getting exactly what you want, and so I understand right now the frustration in maybe slim pickings, because that can definitely be part of this. It's also a call to speak up when you're negotiating, remembering, of course, that you got Queen of Swords and possibilities. And not just that, but the High Priestess and the outcome. So sometimes you can speak something into existence and also speak to what we saw here in your past, which was qualifications. We want to bubble that up so that you're getting your value when it comes to the negotiation table. This is also for some of you, you might actually have a job and be job seeking because these two can be overlapped. So it's reminding you that the devil you know is still a devil. So if you're holding on to something because it's convenient, and there's a fear of taking a risk for something new, that isn't always the best course of action. Talk, get some more information, and then see if fear might be holding you from jumping into something new. Specifically though, let's take a look and see what might be showing up this month with those that are job seeking. So can you find something? Yes, these are very creative and powerful cards here, Queen of Swords and High Priestess. What this reminds me of sometimes is you may be able to make a proposal for something that doesn't exist, pitching a product or a service, if there's a little bit of entrepreneurial energy with this. I also got one of my best jobs just by sending a resume and saying, hey, I have this skill set. I notice you do this. Are you hiring? Sometimes things aren't advertised yet, and it doesn't always work, but sometimes it does. And that was one of my favorite jobs. So you never know. It's a slow going month, but when things do break through, it looks like it's good. I do see something that's worth the time, the effort, and the patience. Where might you find it? Through your existing network here. The Ten of Pentacles tends to be co-workers, former colleagues, any classmates that you might know, maybe even a friend or family member. It's close-knit in your circle of friends. Probably not your partner. It's extended though, extended friends and family. So articulate what you might be seeking out. There may be someone that knows somebody, and that is a great way to get started here. Kind of interesting, I'm just paying attention here to the Cancer energy here from the Crab, and we also have the Queen of Cups here. So there could be a Cancer coming forth that is able to help you. I want you to be very discerning on the legal language. Hire a lawyer if you need to. If you don't understand the contract, find someone who can break it down for you. Sometimes you have to put the two lawyers together. You talk to your lawyer, let them know what you want, and then be in on the communication as they talk to the other person. That takes you out of that mix. This is especially for signing on a contract if you are looking at a job. Or again, getting someone to fight for something if it doesn't feel like you're getting what you're worth. Okay? I do think you can find it. It would probably take a little bit more time than you want. Don't rush something though. And don't accept the first offer. Those are the big takeaways there. For those of you that are students, it's a really beautiful card coming forth. The Star. This represents authenticity, connection to source, and inspiration. It is a reminder, however, not to mute your light. When the card is reversed, the star isn't shining as brightly as it should be. This is when I kind of place it over the category of students, it's making sure that you're studying and learning what it is that is most connected to your passion, not trying to shoehorn in something because it's expected of you by parents, teachers, society, etc. Or even you're looking at something maybe for the wrong reasons. Find something where you can truly shine. And when you do that, you truly will shine, as we see here with the High Priestess, the Queen of Swords. Public speaking is coming through with Queen of Swords, creative energy, Queen of Cups, and then practical. I think the biggest challenge for some of you is you have almost magician energy, a jack of all trades. You could strategically think about how to combine a major and a minor, a couple of majors, or 2 different degrees. That's what I did. So I have more of a journalistic background, an English background, and then I went ahead towards film and editing and like all the stuff that I'm doing here, podcasting, broadcasting. So they all work together, but I had to go to 2 different programs, 2 different schools at 2 different times to get the kind of education I wanted. So you might need to hodgepodge it. And it could also be trade schools, internships, fellowships, just learning from someone, teaching yourself, a combination of that. So you might have to choose your own adventure and make your own path there. I think the most important thing here is stress management. Overall, it looks like you're learning a lot. This can take you far. Creativity is running high. So yeah, just stress management here. And there's a decision, like what is it that works best for you? You have to you're finding your voice and finding your path. Finally, let's take a look at those that are retired. We have the beautiful Sun card coming through here saying now's the time to birth or create something new. Yes, you're retired, but you may have a passion project. You may want to go on an adventure. This is an adventurous card actually, because we have this little kid on a horse. And it's seeing something almost like for the first time. Even if you've been there before, it's through new eyes and a new perception, and something really exciting can happen with that. So I'm getting learning, traveling, and launching something new. And this can happen at any stage in life, including retirement. Stress is here for everybody, but what I do like about you is you have a network. You have friends, you have family, you have connections here that you can lean on. Don't push yourself, don't rush yourself. I think what would be great right now, so many creative cards here, all three of these. This is with writing, this is with painting, or this is with singing, and this is with intuition. You can do anything you set your mind to right now. Have some fun with that and enjoy the fact that you are retired and try to just sort of like find this inner child and let it come out to play. All right, let's move on to love and relationships next and see what's coming through here. Ace of Pentacles in reverse. There could be an offer in love, something that's compelling, someone that's interested in you. Is it reciprocated? That's the interesting thing when the Ace of Pentacles is in reverse. Now, other things that this can indicate is you finding a way to speak up more and say, I would like this, or I want this, or I really enjoy it when this happens. So you're speaking to your expectations, your wants, your needs, your desires, also your dislikes. And by doing that, you're going to get more of what you do want. And it's interesting, I'm using wildly different decks, but both of them are using the metaphor of the tree rings, kind of, radiating outward. So I think this is a time when you're starting to truly find this sense of who you are and really getting grounded in that. All right, let's break this down into 3 categories. We actually got a volunteer here, so I'm going to put this to the side, but then I'm going to pull one for those that are currently in a relationship, looking for love, or single and happy. And the card that flew out we're going to talk about first, which is something that could affect all 3 categories, the 10 of Swords. Don't take the bait on an argument. Don't ignore your body's needs when it comes to health and well-being. And it's okay to walk away sometimes and cut your losses. So that's a universal card and message that came forth as a bonus. I'll put that to the side. Let's start off first with those of you that are currently in a relationship. We have bold and passionate energy with Queen of Wands in reverse, but she sometimes can be stubborn when reversed. So the biggest challenge for some of you can be listening to others or have them listen to you. And it's give and take. So there's that. What I do like about this is there is passion. It's about making sure that the passion doesn't turn into an argument or the passion doesn't get sort of like butting of heads, basically, right? So that's the first thing. Let's see what else is coming forth for those in a current relationship. I do like that we have communication. I always want to see either a court card or a positive swords card. Queen of Swords is just that. She is a little blunt. This is also a little blunt. And so there could be, again, 2 people with strong energies that could be, speaking over each other. So make sure that there's time for both to be heard and for both to hold the floor. I also feel like there's a sense of impatience. If that happens, take a step back, take a deep breath, and make sure that your energy and your emotions are a nice even place before moving forward. For those that are looking for love, we have the Ace of Pentacles coming through and saying, yes, you can find it. It's also connected to the Ace of Pentacles reverse that this whole category comprised. The main thing here is reciprocity. Also, I'm getting twinning energy, which means that sometimes there's so much in common that it may be difficult to reach a decision or to resolve a conflict. What kind of energy might you be pulling in? Queen of Swords. And that's part of this, again, maybe the partner speaks out or speaks up a little bit more than you do. I also see, for some of you, there could be someone from the past, this Queen of Pentacles energy coming forth. This is a new start. Just make sure that you're both on the same page this time around, because it does feel like this person is still holding on to some things. I'm always more a fan of letting the past be in the past. The Queen of Swords energy looks pretty compatible, as does this. Queen of Cups is really you here. So yeah, I see an air sign coming forth, just speaks up a little bit more than you do perhaps. But can you find it? Yes. Focus also on your intuitive development. Focus also on loving and accepting yourself and trusting your instincts. These things are going to help you sort out who you really want to connect with. This Queen of Swords may want to start a family or may already have a child or an extended family that wants to kind of like connect with you as well. So be mindful of that. Okay, looking here at the last category, single and happy, we have the Emperor, and you're saying, yes, I am. Some of you may be even like a widower or widowed, and you're at a point where you're like, I just really want to be with people that I love, maybe with younger people as well, but I don't need the partnership, and that's fine. If you're younger, you're just an old soul at this point, and you have career ambitions and other things that you're focusing on. The Emperor is also a builder, so you may want to put your time and energy into creating something. Things to be mindful of, again, don't push yourself too hard. Also, really take this creative idea and go next level with it. Don't sit on it. Now is the time for action. For everyone, one last time, that bonus card was the 10 of Swords, and it's just saying health is wealth, health is everything, even though we're looking at love. Make sure that you've got that. If you do, great. If not, it's a house of cards. All right, focusing on the final category, destiny. This is you creating a new path. This Hierophant is basically saying, I am the gatekeeper. You're the gatekeeper. You have the key. It's a skeleton key. This is a chance to get organized, to reorganize, or to set forth a goal, plan, or aspiration that is completely different from anything done before, slightly in the disruptor sort of area, basically disrupting the norm. And Hierophant is also a highly spiritual card, just like the High Priestess. So intuitive development, creativity, and mentorship or teaching, all of that is coming forth right now. Okay, let's look at one last card. This can be anything where you still need a question answered. And I'm actually drawn to use a different deck for this, so we'll do that. And we'll see what Spirit has to say. Well, you came through so much synchronicity here with the Queen of Cups. So as a yes or no, it's a yes. There is a caveat on this card to basically be on top of the emotions, not beholden to them. So don't make a decision in a heated or a sad or an elevated emotional state. Do it when you're just generally feeling happy, neutral, or even. And then this is going to help you make a better decision. Love could be coming into your life right now, partnership, friendship. There could also be something that just really makes your heart skip a beat. That's what I'm getting from this. And generally, this is just a really nice way to end this reading. Thank you so much for your patience. Again, I'm doing a lot of traveling over the course of the next couple of weeks. I'm going to be in 2 different cities, probably over the next 7 to 10 days. So the backdrop is going to change again. I know that videos are taking a little bit longer to come out, but remember, I did have to leave Los Angeles because of the wildfires. I am traveling. It's going to take a little longer. They'll all come out over the course of this month. I'll eventually get caught up, but this is a sort of interesting and tumultuous time, and I'm making the most of it. I'm trying to treat it like an adventure, so maybe look at it the same way. I'll continue to show up, and it's kind of fun, right? To be with me on the road as I'm moving around from city to city. All right, that's everything, folks. If you enjoyed this, please like and subscribe. Leave me a comment. Let me know what resonated most with you. You can also give me a follow across social media. It's always my full name, Nicholas Ashbaugh, on all the major platforms. I'm also on Blue Sky at nicholasashbaugh.com. nicholasashbaugh.com is also my website. So if you need any additional news and information, you can always go there. To show some love and support, you can do it through Super Stickers, Super Chat, and also by becoming a member, which is a nice sustaining way to help support new ventures like podcasts. I also have a Patreon page, and again, that was listed on the main sort of socials. I don't do as many bonuses there, but I know that many of you just like something outside of the Google ecosystem, so that's a great way to show support as well. And that's everything. Just remember that I don't give private readings. I don't use direct messages. That's a great way to stay safe and avoid imposters. Let's bring Apollo up to close out this reading. He's actually like right off camera here. That's his blanket behind us. Hey, buddy. He's been amazing while I'm traveling, just waking up from a nap. Thank you guys so much for your love and support. Thanks for being the best part of what I do here on YouTube. Wishing you all the best now and always. I'll see you soon. I'm always here for the dailies, weeklies, and monthlies, and for some special readings as well. Take care.